All right, guys, this is the green onions that I've had out. It's time to spread them out again, but the only reason I'm not spreading them right now is I'm going to just show you. We got a bunch of little seed heads. These little things right here, that'll make the seed for the onion. So I'm going to let them seed out, and then basically you'll see there's a bunch of them, like a bunch. And you put one out, and they're called bunching onions, and they'll make this big bunch. So each one of these started out as one. And you can see this one's got, I'll try to get it kind of close, and you can see this one's got all kind of seed heads on it. These holes are from the chickens digging. Here's one right over here, baby brown, a little rooster that runs around, thinks he's a dog. But anyway, that's why they're not getting moved yet. But they're good and green, and the only fertilizer these things ever got is some of my compost and the ground that they're planted in. But that big tree right there drops a lot of leaves, and that's what made this ground so fertile, is all the leaves breaking down and the worms eating them. So it's a lot of worm compost. This is the blueberries. Only got 3 of them. They're starting to bloom out. I don't know how well you can see the leaves, but if we don't get too cold, it might stay that way. The other thing I was going to show y'all really quick was all the going to show you all the dewberries. Them little white flowers you see, that's a bunch of dewberries. They like blackberries. They're just a little bit smaller and they come a little bit quicker, but they basically are small early blackberries. If you look in here, you see where a couple of them where the flowers have come off. Like I said, if we don't get too cold, they won't fall off and we'll get a lot. But they're all in there. So, all right, I'm gonna go show y'all the garden, which is what this video was supposed to be about. Just kind of give y'all a bigger picture of it to start with, of what we're doing. We moved it across the road and by the house. The house is over there. And the reason for that is there's water over here. You can see all the water hoses. Across the road I had to carry water, and it was making it a lot harder. So I'm gonna still have some more back over there eventually. Got black plastic out right now just trying to kill the grass. I'll show you some of the grass in just a second here that we're trying to kill. This has grass on it also. You just can't really see it because I threw dirt on it. But see how this row is all covered in grass still? That come up after we made it. And this was the same way. In fact, let's see if I can pick up the tarp. And you can see it underneath there too. And that will kill it. Now, the tarp's being up here in this area, and you can see how much more yellow it is and how much more bare it is underneath there. So it will kill it. It just takes a little while. But my plants aren't going to be quite ready. That's going to be a different video. It's going to be before this one. So you're hearing about the plants in this one, but you're actually going to see that video first of the plants that we got inside under the grow lights. And I'll mention this one and the other one. But this is where the end of the row is going to be. This is just so water can drain from one end to the other. I still have to till some of this. And what I'm doing is just tilling the middles. I'm not tilling the actual dirt or the top of the rows. I'm trying to use as much no-till as I can, but I got to make the rows. So what I'm doing is tilling up the middles with my tiller, and then I throw the dirt, which you're going to see that too. It's going to be in another video of that happening. But these stakes right here, I'll show you this stake right here, and this stake right here, that's the middle, and that's what I aim at with the tiller when I'm running it down. And you can see the row's not completely straight. It's a little bit crooked, but that's okay. We can straighten it up. But they're about 32 inches wide at the bottom, at the base they would call it, and they'll be a little bit more narrow than that. I'm trying to get them 30 inches at the top. If they line up at 28 to 30, I'm gonna be happy. So, but this one has been tilled, and pretty much I took most of the dirt out of the middle. And this one, you can see there's still a lot of the dirt in the middle. It's got to be thrown. You're gonna get to see all of that, how I done it. I'm gonna actually use the tiller too. That's gonna be in another video also. But like I said, I wanted to show y'all basically just the garden, what it looks like, and what we're doing. And like I said, we're gonna be planting some peppers and some tomatoes and some cilantro, and I know cucumbers eventually, okra and squash later in the year. But to show y'all a little bit about it. But I got to get some more of this black plastic. 2 pieces of this only covers up 2 of the rows. So I'm gonna get 4 more, which will cover up which will be the last 2. So these 2 rows right here are being covered up. And then I'll let you see them all the way down. And I got some sandbags, but the buckets are working for right now. But eventually there'll be wood chips that hold that down on the ends, and staples, landscape staples. And then these 2 rows will get covered up by another 2 sheets of plastic. I buy it 4 sheets at a time because it's cheaper that way. And then this one, the only thing that's not making it completely 2 rows is we don't have the outside middle. So I got the front row. This is the row that I've cleaned the dirt out of. But I got to run the tiller down with that, you see that yellow rake on the ground. And I'm going to show you how I set these stakes out, how I measure them. Should be able to see that stake there and that stake there. I'll show you how I measure that with a tape measure right there. And like I said, and then I'm going to run the tiller down through here and make that one. That'll be in the video. And then I'm going to also show you me throwing some of the dirt and how I throw it. So basically, this row right here, all the dirt from this row is going to go on this middle. That's the middle. But from this little thing that I tilled out, this trench I tilled out, which is going to be the middle, the dirt from here is going to go onto this row. And the dirt that was in this trench is what made this row. So when I dig this one out over here, it's going to come around this area. When I dig that one out, all that dirt's going to go on this row. But that row won't be complete until I till on the other side of it. And it has 2 middles, or a middle on the other side of it before I start trying to plant in it. But eventually, I'm going to go to where this chicken pen is. You'll see a few more of the chickens. They actually are what I'm using to tear the ground up. I can show you over here what it looks like when we put them on it. I didn't mean to just be about the chickens, but I'll show you the difference from where they've been and where they haven't been. And you can see how tall this grass is and how full that is. And that's what this used to look like. And it still does look like that a little bit on this side, but I just use them to, I throw feed where I want them to till. And then basically, they dig up a lot of the grass. These over here doing kind of the same thing. For right now though, these chickens, 2 of these pens will stay on here, more to this side over that's on this side. I'm going to probably stop the garden somewhere around about here for right now, at least for the time that I think I can get to it. Eventually, like I said, these chickens are going to cross the road, and when that happens, then I can do more of it. All right, I think I probably rambled long enough on this one, but anyway, I just wanted to show y'all. Somebody had asked about a garden update, and so I'm moving the garden. That's why there's not a whole lot. I just got a few strawberries on the other side still. But this is what we have been doing, and like I said, you'll see the tiller in action, the shovel and the hose and stuff in action, and then you're going to see the plants underneath the grow light that we got inside. You'll be able to see the difference. All right, guys. Thank y'all.